Hello, good afternoon. Today we're going to talk about how to use the model space and the paper space in AutoCAD environment. So we're going to talk about how to switch between the model space and the paper space, which is maybe this layout here, this way. Remember, this is a tutorial video for beginners, so we are going to go on a slow pace. So this is the model space. On the model space, this is the layout. This is the layout space here, or more or less called the paper space for printing. So if you finish your drawing here, maybe you draw a rectangle this way, and you draw whatever drawing you produced on your model space here. Whatever drawing you produced on your model space, you move it this way. Whatever drawing on your model space this way, you can maybe off the author. Let me just use this for an illustration for printing purpose. So now doing this, you finish your drawing on the model space here. Now you want to print. There are two methods of printing. You can print directly here from your model space by going to File and you plot, and you set your printer settings, your paper settings, and paper size and all that. We're going to come into printing. Especially, I'm going to make a video towards the end of this lesson, how to print in AutoCAD and how to set our plot style, to a particular style we want. So now, just relation between the model space and the paper space. So we finish your drawing on the model space. Now you want to print. That is one method of printing. The first method of printing is to go to File, Plot. You finish your setup and you print. You can print from the model space directly. Okay, how about if I want to print multiple views of drawings on my model space? Maybe I have a 3D drawing and I want to print the front, the side, and maybe the top elevation. I have to go to my layout space. This is the layout here. I have to create layers. In this my layers, I have to make viewports. I have to make viewports on this my layers to get various views. If you want one single viewport, you create it. 1, 2 single views, 3 single viewports, you create it here. So we're going to come into that. So this is the model space here. So all we have to do is to we are on our models, but all you have to do is to type in on your command line. You say tile mode. If you type mode, it's coming out already. You say tile mode, enter. Now it's asking you to enter the value for tile mode. If you say 1, enter, it's going to switch from the paper space to the model space. So but if you say the tile mode should be 0, you say enter, it will switch directly to the first layout from the model space this way. So if you don't want to use that method, all you have to do is to go just go directly and click the layout mode. So now we click the tile mode and we come to the layout. So we are now here. This is more or less like a paper space. This is like a margin. So now we want to print this drawing here in our layout space here. Now on the layout space, or the paper space, we can create our title block. Of course, we can create our title block on the model space here and click and print, but we can also print from the layout space here. So how are we going to create our title block? We create maybe a rectangle using a line on the rectangle to draw sort of a block along the margin. We draw a rectangle, we're dropping it here. See, this is sort of like the we've drawn another rectangle. Maybe for the title block placement. Maybe draw a line from this point to this point. You enter. So now, sorry, let me make this bigger. The rectangle here. Let's make it bigger. So we've made this bigger here. So we can come here and write a single line text. Remember the shortcut for a single line text is a single line text here. Single line text, you come here, it says asking to specify the first point. You specify this first point, you make a horizontal single line text, you drop, click first and click second, and the text form is going to come up. Maybe you just type in tutorial text. Maybe this is an information on the title block. If you want that, you escape. What you have to do is maybe you move it upward a bit. Maybe you copy it again, copy, select objects, you enter, you select this point and drop it at this point, and you escape. Maybe this is the text on your title block that's just in for referral purpose. Then the next thing for you to do now, we'll set our title block on our layer space. The next thing for us to do now is to create our viewport. All you have to do is to type mv. This is the viewport setting. This is the viewport we want to add. This is the viewport setup. So all you have to do, if you want to set multi-viewport, you go here. You can come and create. If you go to create, it's asking you, do you want to create viewport, you want to delete viewport, you go to create viewport. Now you can come, you see enter number to load, the number of viewports to load. We want just one viewport. If you want two viewports, if you want three viewports, it's okay. So all we have to do is we close this, escape. So how to do is to type mv, enter. So it's asking me to specify the first corner of viewport. All I have to do, the point where I want the drawing to extend towards. The point where I want the drawing to extend towards, I want it to extend towards this port. Is asking me to specify the opposite corner, just like if you're doing the zoom window. You remember the zoom window? So we'll now come here to this point, maybe to this particular point. This is where we want the drawing to extend towards. We drop it here. Now on doing that, I don't know if you notice. The drawing from the model space is now extend. So we go over that again. It's asking to specify the first corner point of viewport. If we come here, we select this point and select the opposite corner. We select this top point here and drop it. See, the whole object has zoom extent, has now covered the space where we want the object to be. Meanwhile, this area is our title block, and this area maybe for notes. So this is the drawing. This is the way the drawing is going to appear on our layout space. All we have to do now is to set the scale, and that's the difference between the model space and the layout space. You can set the scale, on the layout this way. So all we have to do now to set the scale, we'll come over to the model space. For us to go over to the model space, we have to double click on the viewport. I believe this is the viewport. Yeah, this is the viewport here. So we'll double click on it. If we double click on it, we are now in the model space. So in the model space right here now, we'll type in zoom, enter. We'll type in zoom. The shortcut for zoom is Z. You say enter. Now it's asking us to specify the corner of window, enter a scale factor for the zoom. So now remember, in our drawings, maybe you want to zoom your drawing to 1:50 drawing, scale of 1:50. You want your drawing to be in a scale of 1:100, 1:75. So here now, if you want your drawing to be in a scale of 1:100, all you have to do is to state 1 all over 100 XP. 1 over 100 XP. Type in, enter. Now the drawing has automatically been scaled on the model space here. So you can leave the viewport on the model space here by typing PS. You can type PS to go back into the model, to go back into the paper space. You can type PS right now to go back into the paper. So now this drawing can be printed and is now in the scale of 1:100. So that's all we have for the model and paper space. I talked to you about the printing. I'm going to deal with printing in AutoCAD 2D. In NS, I'm going to make it a separate video for that. So the next thing I'm going to talk about now is the template, how to create a template. how to create template. Remember I told you all about the layer property manager. I told you how to set the text style, how to text the dimension style. So in creating a template, a particular template you want to use to draw, you can be a designer that wants to use maybe a particular title block to do your drawing. You can create a title block of your choice, a title block of your choice, particular information in it, just like I did in the layout. The particular information you want. Sorry, let me bring the rectangle down. Let me bring this through this way. I have to stretch, back stretch, I bring it back. Remember the stretch tutorial? I bring it back this way. So you can make a line. You can explode this. So if you have a title block this way of a particular attribute here by your right, however you want to do it, maybe your logo and the cost at the title of the drawing and everything, your address, date and sign, signature, and other. So you can come here, and this is a title block you want to use every time you do your drawing. So all you have to do is to come all over to text style. You create a particular text style you want, create a new text style, particular text style. Say temp text. Okay, maybe you want it to be area. The height of the text. Height of the text is 2. You say apply. Okay. So the text, have a particular text style. Then we'll go to dimension style. You want to create a particular dimension style. You create a new one. Say temp the text. You continue. Temp the text. You create your necessary every all your attributes in our dimension style tutorial. We've done all this. You okay it. Temp the text. You close. That's the current dimension style there. You create a particular table style you want. So you create a particular table style you want. You create a new table style. Temp tab. Okay. You can put your attributes here. Your attributes, and make your changes however you want it to be, or your tables to appear. If you are going to draw a table along with your project you want to carry out, so you make all your necessary changes here like you did in our table style tutorial. So you close that, you make a new one. Tab st continue. Make all necessary, say okay, make it, you close it. All the table style there. You can also create a style for the leader style. New LED TST continue. Okay, to make your necessary changes like before. You close it. Now we have our styles as particular templates. Now we'll come to our layer. Give different types of layers. We'll come here. We'll create a new layer. Layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we can give layer 1 maybe blue. Give layer 2 magenta. Give layer 3 red, yellow. Give layer 4 cyan. Give layer 5 green, and give them maybe different line widths. Remember we talked about layer. You go back to our layer tutorial and give different line widths, different line type, whichever you want. If you want any particular layer to be on or off, you can come here and set it. So all this is going to be on. You close this. So our layer is now there. Or have to, maybe you set the first layer as the current layer. We'll close it. So this is it. All we have to do now, we'll finish setting all our necessary properties before we can venture into our drawing. All our necessary properties right now. So all we have to do now is to go to save as. Alright, we go to save as. We'll go to our file tab here. We're going to save it as a template, AutoCAD drawing template. AutoCAD drawing template DWT. We save it as a template. We'll give it a particular drawing we want. Maybe we'll say cheesy template. Cheesy template. So we'll save it. Say description, the template option. If you want a particular description to describe the particular template, you maybe add your description and you OK it. So the template has been saved. Now I want to close our AutoCAD drawing right now and reopen it. I want to close our AutoCAD drawing and I want to open a new AutoCAD drawing. This is 2014. We can click on this plus sign here right now. If we open it and go to our template here, you're going to see cheesy template. This is cheesy template right here now. Maybe see here. This is cheesy template. All you cannot do if you want to create a new drawing, click on cheesy template, you open it. Now this is my second drawing. You see it still has the title block attributes, it still has the layer attributes, it still has the text attribute. See the text style, the table style, the dimension style, the leader style. So you cannot start drawing from this point. This is how to create templates. So instead of you start drawing from the scratch and all that, so this is how to create a particular template. So our next exercise, we're going to talk about how to create an annotative, how to use annotative in AutoCAD. So we erase this, delete. We erase this right now. So all we have to do is our default layer. We create annotative. If first of all we will have to, I want to outline the points we have to effect our annotation onto. We create annotative on text style. We create annotative on dimension style. We create annotative on our hatching tool here, hatching tool right here. So I want us to start our annotative in NX. Now I want to create maybe a polygon. Let me use a polygon. It's saying insert a polygon. I use maybe 7. I use center point. 7 sides. Let me say 7 sides. I say enter. It doesn't mean to specify the center of the polygon. Center of polygon. Circumscribe or inscribe. Circumscribe. I make a polygon right now. This is a polygon I want to make. Now, if I want to hatch this polygon, remember we are talking about annotative. I click on hatch. This is our hatching form. All I have to do is to select add big point and add this point. I right click. Either I enter or I preview. So I have to go to preview to see the way my drawing is. I click enter again. So I have to go is to use the annotative option right here. This is the annotative option right here. I'll use this option right here now. So and I check the annotative. I OK it. So now I now go to my dimension style. You see my dimension style. I'll go to my dimension style right here. Go to my dimension style. On this dim text, maybe let me use the standard. Let me use the standard right now. So I modify the standard dimension style. All I have to do is to go straight to my fit here and go to annotative and OK it. If I OK it and I close, so you see my dimension is now standard here, annotative and annotative right here now. So all I have to do is to make an align dimension right here now. Align dimension right here to this point and I drop it. Now I make my text an annotative text. My text and annotative text. I use a standard one. I create annotative text, make it annotative. I apply it and I close. So the next thing I have to do now is to maybe create a multi-line text. I create a multi-line text this way. I drop it and I draw. Write whatever I want to write and I OK. So all I have to do right now is to change the annotative right here. Annotative scale. This is my annotative. This is my annotation scale right here. Sometimes the annotation scale wouldn't be on. All you have to do is to come and put it on right here. See, they automatically add scales to annotative objects when the annotation scale changes. So it is off right now. So what we have to come to put it on. Now it is on. So we have to change our scale on our normal drawing here. We can say maybe this 1:1. We can change this. You see, it's now bigger. Sorry, that is way too big. That is way too big. It's now bigger. 1:1. This 1:1. It's now bigger. This is 1:1. Go to the next one. This 1:1. You see, the scale is changing. The scale is changing. The scale is changing. I don't know if you notice that. The scale is changing. See, the scale is changing. I want us to appreciate this on our own. The scale is changing. Yeah, at least the scale is now changing to however we want it to change. Sorry, there's I don't know if you noticed, we had an exception. This is our text here. Our text is not annotated, so we have to change it to annotative, to standard text. We change it to standard text. We erase this text because it didn't change with our annotation scale. When we were changing our annotation scale, we send it back to 1:1. So we'll now send our text to standard text annotative. So we'll now write another text again. We'll now write a multi-line or a single line text, multi-line text. I send one and I type whatever I want to type. I OK it. So all I have to do now is to change the scale once again. Change the scale once again. I change the scale. We see it's now bigger. It's now bigger. It's now scaling the hatch, the dimension, and the text out at the same time. So I hope we appreciate how much annotative can help us make our lives easier in AutoCAD. This is basically started in, I think, AutoCAD 2009 and 10. It was a modification and upgrade. So that's where you're going to get annotative attribute in AutoCAD. So there is it for now. That is that for annotative. The next thing we're going to talk about now is properties. Now let me come back to the annotative. Remember, no matter how complex the drawing is, no matter how tight and no matter how sophisticated your drawing is, you can use annotative to make your drawings and scaling your dimension text, your dimensions and your text and your hatch. You make them scale at to be scaled at the same size, either the 1:8, 1:10, 1:100, or however you want it to be. So that's how powerful annotative is in AutoCAD. So I erase this. We're going to talk about properties. This is the property toolbar here. I didn't talk about this property toolbar. I believe we used it in our subsequent tutorial, but I want to talk about it in extensively right now. If I draw my rectangle, maybe I draw a single rectangle, it's telling me to specify the first corner. Looking at the command line there, I specify the first corner, I specify the second corner, I drop it. Now, if I select this rectangle, the properties here, property toolbar is going to take the properties of this particular rectangle. So all I have to do is to I can come edit the global width of the rectangle. See, the global width has now increased. Escape. If I escape, you see, the width of the rectangle is now increased. So all I have to do is to select the particular object you want on the interface, and it's going to take the property form here is going to identify that object for you so you can edit it. So here on our layer, we created a layer for the layer. The layer of the rectangle is the default layer here. Now we can see that is the same layer it has here. So if I say let the rectangle go to layer 1, you see it has changed to blue. If you let it go to layer 4, it has changed to cyan. Now if I click on it again, the color of the layer, the color you're saying it should be by layer, or you want it to be by block, you want it to be any other color, so let it be by layer. The line type also, you want it to be by layer or any other layer. The line type scale, you can scale the line scale. You can the plot style. The plot style, this has to do with plotting. We're going to talk about that when it comes to printing in NS. So we can use a particular plot style to print our drawing. The line weight, you can leave it by layer. So this is how powerful layer is to properties. So if we set our properties in layer, the property is going to make it more simpler for us. We're going to make it more simpler for us. The properties has to be by layer. Leave it to be by layer. You set whatever you want to set here, in the property toolbar. Also the circle. This is the circle here. Type in circle. You want to use the circle. Remember, why is white? Because the default layer is the layer I'm using to draw is the default layer. So I can come here and select the circle. I can come here and change the diameter of the circle. I can come here and change the radius of the circle to say 200. It's now smaller. So you see, this is how powerful AutoCAD. This is how the property toolbar. So I want to encourage you, whenever you're doing your drawing, whenever you're doing whatever you are doing in your drawing, so I encourage you to always use the property toolbar, because it's going to help you. Because it's going to help you simplify your drawing. It's going to help you simplify your work as a design engineer, as a someone that prepares drawing, maybe plan drawings, architectural drawings, machine drawings, and all that. So the property is going to help you in AutoCAD to make your life a whole lot simpler. So that is it for now. That's all I have for this video. So I want you to catch me in my next video, where we're going to start orthographic drawings, some exercises in orthographic drawings. We're going to start drawing in earnest. So I want you to catch me in my next video. Thank you.